I hope you enjoyed your presentation, our tribute to you. Yeah. Ladies, you are phenomenal. Thank you. And if I just will take a few minutes more, because there are people that want to hear from you. And there may be some questions that come up from our audience. First of all, your stories inspire me just constantly in your work. Patricia, I got to see you on another Honoring Women for Women's History, where Liz was hosting that, and hearing your words. She actually spoke about our Supreme Court justice and the reason it was so important. And I was just snapping, going, Black Girl Magic, yes, the whole time. So this is such a privilege. I have a couple of questions for you as we get them. And I think, let's see, Lady Donna, I think if you can take a look at the chat room as it comes through, because I'm not able to see that. Thank you so much. There more that come through. But one of the things that happened before was I asked people to give us questions, and they read your bios. I mean, there were tears. They were just like, oh my gosh, these women walk on water. So I think one of the things that comes about is, how do I do this? They seem impenetrable. They seem like superwomen. They seem like, oh my gosh. But then we hear that we have a cancer survivor. We hear grandmas. We hear moms. If you can start us off with this one thing. If you could go back and tell your 19, 20-year-old self something that they were intimidated by women like you, hearing all the things that are going on, what would you tell her? Let's start first, if you don't mind. I guess I can ask somebody to raise their hand so that I don't like intimidate somebody. Can you start? Let's see, Edith, is that what you wanted to start?
No, but I will.
Thank you. Again, you had to tell something to your 20-year-old self.
Right. Well, first, let me say, thank you. I am so honored and so humble. And I give all glory to God, who is the head of my life. And if I had to tell my 19-year-old self something, it was that you can do anything with faith, honesty, and courage. I didn't know it then. I was when I was 19, that was during the civil rights movement. And I really thought that the world was invisible and that we were going to really change it to the better. And here I am, 60 decades later, still fighting the same fight, but it's so worth it. I have such beautiful people that I'm surrounded by, my friends, my family, and my wonderful, wonderful children who now have become my friends, not only my children, but they are truly my best friends. And I would tell any young woman that you can do anything that you can put your mind to, but you must go to school and get an education.
Okay. Thank you so much. May I ask anyone that wants to tap onto those words? Kind of capture some of those things. Let's see, Dr. Dixon?
Yeah, I'll jump in there. And again, I am so very humbled by this experience and to be able to share this platform with these other wonderful ladies. If I had to go back and talk to my 19-year-old self, I just basically say, girl, stop worrying. Have a spirit of gratitude, change that attitude, if you will. And not so much try to be what you think people want you to be, but be yourself. And in doing that, the right people will love you for you. Coming up in a family with 6 siblings and living in a household with a mom and dad and a grandmother and grandfather. At that time, I was all about, why don't I have my own bedroom? It was all about me. And as time went on, really, really coming to know that I was really in a good place. When I look at other families that I work with now in this time, it's hard, but to have a biological family that was strong and supportive, and to have a church family that was there for me throughout those years. I am what I am because of that and my faith and my belief. And then lastly, I want to leave you with these words, 19-year-old Karen, and that is what Maya Angelou said some time ago, which I think has led me to the work that I have in this day and time. And it's to try to be a rainbow in someone else's cloud. And I would leave it right there.
Amen. Thank you. Yeah, okay. I was going to say Judge Holmes, and then I have one other question for you if you want to answer that one, then I'm going to follow up with something and start with you.
Yeah, I would grab everything they just said, but I would also tell my 19-year-old self, you're not invisible. People will see you. So just keep going. Because growing up, you think people don't see you. You think they're not paying attention. They don't understand you're a Black woman, you know, low man on the totem pole, basically. But I would say to myself, you just keep being authentic. Don't worry about it. People will see you one day. You just keep doing what you do and keep being the best at what you are, and people will see you.
See, I hope everybody's taking, I got my nuggets down here. So I think, this whole session is kind of for me because I get nervous. I have this, and Commissioner Holt, can we, did you want to join in there? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like in transition. So yeah, what I was saying.
Wait, I'm sorry. So for our audience out there, Commissioner Holt is doing what these women shattering glass ceilings is doing. She's like juggling, and she's like, "Well, I'm trying to put on." I'm like, "We're not trying to stress you." So she's being who she is.
It's all good. I appreciate it too, and I appreciate the award and congratulate all the other awardees. But I would say, stay the course, find faith in God, because you can avoid a lot of pitfalls and obstacles. Even at 19, just believing in God and having faith and not letting anybody tell you you can't do it. Because believe it or not, even in your 20s, people still try to tell you you can't do it or you won't be it. And I encountered that a lot on this department. But, staying the course, preparing myself, here I am now. So when you're young, you don't see it, but other people do see things in you that you might not see in yourself. So stay the course.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm going to go back to Judge Holmes first, and then I want everybody to please chime in. Now, this next one, I think it's probably my personal therapy session, but I'm going to say that it was given by somebody else. I listen to your accomplishments. I listen to everything you're doing, but then I hear she's a grandmother. Well, she's a mother. Wait, but she sings. Oh, wait, she has a life over here. What would you say to a woman 19? How about a 50-year-old, 2-year woman that's, hypothetically needs you to say something? How do you balance? Is there truth in balance? How do you do what you do and maintain your relationships and your sanity and your health and all of this while shattering those ceilings? What's important?
So, you know what? I can't remember who it was exactly who said it to me, but I've heard it several times recently. There's no such thing as work-life balance. Mm-hmm. It's work-life integration. And it wasn't until I stopped trying to balance and started to integrate everything I wanted to do that I started to really enjoy doing as much as I possibly could. So basically it's what's on the calendar for right now. What am I doing right now? What's coming up next? And then giving that your focus. And then what's the next thing? What's the next thing? Planning, right? Planning. So whenever I'm on a trial or I'm really focused on something at work, I try to make sure I plan for something with the family or with my husband or with the kids individually. And if I'm involved with the kids and I need something to happen, I plan it. When is it going to happen? What time is that going to happen? So you're constantly doing this. It's constantly integration. It never is a balance. And then being in the moment, being mindful. So when you're in that moment and you're doing whatever it is, enjoying it. And that's the only thing I can say. That's how I do it.
Excellent. Thank you. Others, this is, I'm telling you, I got my notes and everything else, but yes, this is good. It's not a one-on-one therapy session. Anybody else want to chime in there?
I think it's just taking one day at a time. When you get up that morning, be grateful to God and give all glory and thank God for taking you through the night and bringing you through it and safe passage where you can get up the next day and see the sunshine. But I so agree with what Ms. Holmes said. It really is not a balancing, it's an integration. You can only do what you can do when you can do it. And planning and knowing that the plans may not work out, but that you can move on and do something else, because if A doesn't work, do B, and if B doesn't work, do C. And know that nothing is in your control. And when you can't control it, just stop, be peaceful, be quiet, and the universe will make it all right.
Thank you. Let's go then. I'm going to take you somewhere else a little bit. And this is, I'll probably start with, I think Dr. Barbie Dixon or Commissioner Holt, in these areas, each of you in your respective areas represents change. You represent something, the status quo was not there. You have knocked down doors where white males were prevalent. You're challenging what used to make people comfortable. And with that, I know comes some nastiness. You face something that may not be because of you, but you're the face that's changing things. Is there any particular either instance or opportunity where you felt that you were hitting that wall and it felt really personal and scary? And how did you make it through when you were knocking down those doors? Commissioner Holt, you are definitely in a male-dominated area. Each of you are sitting there in a space where you were the first, you still might be the only. Can you talk about being face alone? Yes.
Yeah, I think you want me to go or you want Dr.
No, please. No, Commissioner Holt, please go. Yes.
Okay. I think ever since I've come on this job, it's been those walls, those guys that say you shouldn't be here. And as I got closer and closer to being the first deputy, I could see more and more attacks coming from different ways, be it men and women, just to make sure I wouldn't get to where I was going. And I think being in a department where there's never been a woman to lead it in 162 years says something. There are other departments that are older that have had women. So I think the one thing about going through all of this, everything I've been through on this job and off this job has prepared me for where I am today. And I think having mentors has helped me a lot too, that were men. More men mentored me than anything, because there weren't a lot of women who could mentor me because they weren't in that position. And I think what's really important in this position is opening the doors and trying to get more women and people of color in these positions so that we can level the playing field in the city of Chicago. And just trying to encourage young people, and especially women, they can do this job. They can definitely do this. They can be firefighters. They can be paramedics. They can do it. And I think all of this was meant to make us not believe in ourselves and not meant for us to believe we could do any of this or get to this level. And had we listened to people like that, we wouldn't be here. But you got to have a lot of strength, and you got to have, I keep saying faith in God, because these people will try you and try everything else. And God keeps me grounded. So that's my answer for that one.
Excellent. Thank you. And Dr. Dixon, thank you.
Yeah, I know. I was just going to say, it's hard to come behind that one without saying ditto, ditto, ditto. I was bullied as a child. It was because, long hair, thin, and, all of this was coming at me at one time growing up. And so I viewed, as I began to move into the professional realm, as bullying personified, if you will. Had my opportunity to really feel like, being one of several students in my doctoral program that was able to hang in there when everybody else was falling by the wayside, or people were telling me, no, you can't do this and work a full-time job. But I had an awfully supportive church family that full of educators, by the way. So each Sunday I'd show up and walk in the doors of my church and see some of them, and they would all look at me, and I would be ready to throw in the towel, and they would say, oh no, we're not going to have it today. So I think it was just those encouraging words from that extended family that kept me going, my mentors, my prayer, my faith, that helped me be able to go through some of those struggles and really come out on the better end of things, but also be in a position to tell people that I work with now, children and families and adults, I've been there, I've done that, and really be able to say it with some real sincerity that you too can come out of this.
Thank you. And now there's one question I'm going to ask. This is more of my lasting out. I think we had a couple from the audience I want to make sure we get to before we close out. And you started this, Dr. Dixon, is about what we're saying to the young people, because I've been there, I've done that. We're hearing a lot about college debt this year, these days. People want to go to college, they're coming out with $400,000 worth of debt. But I heard Chicago State, I heard UIUC, I was like ILL, I heard that. I heard local schools, I heard that we are going in our space. Can you talk to the students about the education, where you went, going local, going to the Ivy Leagues? What have you found in your career now that you're shattering those glass ceilings, what that looks like and what they should be looking for in a school, in their education? because I know that there's a lot of questions around that right now about this formula, about I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this in order to get there. Talk to me a little bit about your path.
Well, I'd like to say that for the students of today, that it's going to be very, very important that as much as possible, you take that learning in the classroom and you be given an opportunity to apply it to some real life situations. I think that that's really what makes the difference in being able to say, yeah, I learned this in the classroom, but really, how does this size up to what really is going on in my environment? And being able to take that and apply it based on the experience is the most important thing that's going to help you really be able to say you've truly gotten a valuable learning experience in whatever institution that you have participated in.
Thank you. Others?
So I would say, get the best education that you can get from whatever school you can afford, and take that education seriously, right? Because 1 + 1 is 2, no matter what school you go to learn it, right? So if you go to Chicago State, that's fine. If you go to Harvard, that's fine. You go to University of Illinois, UIC, University of Chicago, Kentucky, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you get the education, you take it seriously, you get the best grades you can get, and then you take that education and do what it is that you plan to do. Because I'm very fond of telling folks that I work with who, sort of get into the, hey, I went to Harvard, and hey, I went to Yale, and I went to Stanford. And I say, I went to the University of Illinois because I got into all of those schools, but I couldn't afford to go at the time. And they weren't giving out the scholarships like they are now. Even though I was #1 in my high school class, I still didn't get the scholarship. They weren't trying to get minority students in school at the time that I went in a way that they are now. But I took my University of Illinois education seriously, and I graduated high in the class. And I took that information, that education. I then went to law school. And guess what? I work with Harvard, I work with Stanford, I work with Yale, but I'm the boss.
Come on, can we say it again for people in the back?
I'm the one that run the place, right? So your Harvard didn't get you past me. We work together, but I'm the one running the place because I took my education seriously. I got my education just like you did. So if you went to Chicago State, if you went to Olive Harvey, it doesn't matter where you went, you can still run the place as long as you take that education seriously and then apply it.
Okay, I can say bye now, but okay, we're gonna go for this. Excellent. So a couple things. One, I am a stickler about giving people back their time. We have scheduled where 3 to 4. What I'd like to do is to ask you, Talika, I think I got my question answered as before. As we leave here with a few minutes remaining, each of you took time to honor us with your time, and we would sincerely appreciate it. And we would be remiss without just asking a question. If there's something that we haven't asked or hasn't been shared today that you would like to leave us with, that you believe will pour into the spirits of not only the young people, but the folks your age, the folks that are older than you, the people that are listening to you, just to encourage and inspire their day. Women's History Month is only a month, but we celebrate you every day. So with that, I just want to step back and allow you to leave us with the words as we close out. And I will start with Edith. Thank you.
Be the change you want to see in the world. That means be yourself, and you be the change to make the world a better place for those coming behind you.
Thank you. Anybody next?
I'll go ahead. Oh. I could go ahead.
I'm actually going to have Commissioner Holt go because she's off screen. So I want to make sure that we're able to get that. Is that okay? Okay.
I can put it on, but I'm outside.
No.
Anyway, okay.
You are doing what we need you to do. We need you to be awesome as you are. So thank you. So please, we'll go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would just say never give up, no matter what someone tells you. Keep pushing forward to what you want to be and what you want to do, because people will try to discourage you and knock you down, but you just got to keep pushing forward no matter what.
Yes. Thank you. Dr. Barbie Dixon.
I like to say, particularly given this time when there's so much going on, all the violence, all the, the pandemic residual that's happening now, that there's a lot of fear out there. Mm-hmm. And I'd only like to offer that You let your fears make you fierce.
Let your fears make you fierce. I think I see a bumper sticker coming. Hey, I can keep that on my wall. Thank you. And Judge Patricia Brown Holmes.
I would say remain authentic to the cause. You know, as Black people, we have to be Black on Black issues. So remain authentic to those causes so we can help each other to be, you know, equal members of our society. So I think that it's incumbent upon each one of us to continue to do these kinds of things. Every time I'm involved in a program like this or attend a program like this and see people, I'm just so overwhelmed to hear, you know, and understand, you know, the accomplishments of women like you all. You know, I'm proud to be among you. And I just sit and I think to myself, oh my God, look at what we're doing. Look at these sisters and look at how much we're doing. And the only way that happens is that we keep doing this, we keep supporting each other, and we keep being there for each other. I've never met a Black woman I can't help some way, shape, or form. And as long as we continue to do that, I think that we'll eventually get there. It might be our great grandkids, but we'll eventually get there.
Amen. It took me back to Haley's word, 17-year-old Haley, and she said, "I shea butter queens and I shea butter gangsters. I got your back." So I was like,
right.
yes, sister. All right. Yes, this has been an amazing hour. I hope that everyone on here has enjoyed it. You have left such nuggets. And just so everyone sees, this is the award with each of their individual like pictures on it that they receive. It's got that hammer just to denote that they are knocking down and shattering and just breaking them down. And it is our honor to honor you. So with that, ladies, I'm going to leave us with, I think I got a good song here. It says, "I Am Woman." And we're going to close this out. God bless you. We have our final word from our president who are sitting here, who's going to say some final words.
I just want to thank you ladies again, and hopefully continue to uplift you in any way, shape, form, or fashion that we can. And I know I said this on yesterday, it truly feels like an amazing time to be a Black woman. And I hope everybody feels that way as well. And just remember to help someone else. Help someone else. Whatever you can do to uplift and help the next person, the next woman, the next young girl, the next young boy. Take that time. It's so important because there is so much. There's a lot of heaviness going on right now. And we really need each other. So if you can help somebody in any little way, just do it. Just do it. Be kind. Just do it. That's it. And thank you so much again.
And you all are being covered and prayed for. Yes. All right. So let's take us out. Goodbye to our audience. Thank you so much. This will be recorded and it will be available. Ladies, you will each receive a copy, as you all are awesome, for your library. God bless you. Goodbye.